Hey guys, you probably won't believe this, but this weekend, this training weekend, the organization is hitting me with a fly attack. Basically, they have been over the past 3 days teleporting flies into my room, just like they did when I first started training, and they teleported a massive amount of flies into my living room. Now, why am I saying teleporting? Well, you see, the windows are closed, the doors are closed, the air conditioner is turned off, and there is no hole or whatever in the walls where they can come from. The flies, they're coming from nowhere. Big, grown up, large sized flies. And they're coming in heaps. And they're coming again and again and again and again. And I keep killing them. And my mom keeps killing them. And they still keep coming. And the reason of why it happens, I believe that they well, the program that I'm about to do in the near future, the number, this week's number is associated with that program, and that program is associated with the word fly. And I think that they want to associate this word with negativity, and do me this fly attack, like sort of revenge for doing this program, because the exact date on which I am going to do this program, it perfectly aligns with the number of the full elf program, which also, by the way, aligns with the word fly in a different way. But I am going to do the half elf program and not the full elf program. The hope program that I'm going to do is the half elf program. And the reason why I'm doing the half elf program and not the full elf program is because those programs, they may make me a smaller person, they may decrease my physical size. And while there is no telling the extent of how much the half elf program would decrease my physical size, the full elf program may make me a really tiny person. And that change would be very drastic for me. And I'd like to take things gradually, because if I do the full elf program, it seems like such a rush, and there is another word for it. Reckless thing to do, because the changes that it could make to my body in terms of physical size, there is no telling if I would end up with the height of a 10 years old boy, or an 8 years old girl, or a gnome. I have no idea how short I'd become if I did the full elf program. It's such a reckless thing to do. And you see, there is no story. There is no story in the media that tells you to start with the full elf program. You see the Dragon Ball and the Star Wars and the Transformers, which are large by the way, but still they all tell you to start with the half elf program. There is no story that tells you to start with the full elf program. And I mentioned Star Wars, and you see Master Yoda. I believe that his program is the full elf program. And Master Yoda is extremely small sized. He is much shorter than an 8 years old girl. He is more like a 4 years old child in terms of height, like a 4 years old child. Now imagine if I did the full elf program and I'd become as short as a 4 years old child. Now I'm not saying that my decision is the most correct one based on all the knowledge and evidence that is available in the world. No, there is a chance that the reason that the dates align with the full elf program is actually because the full elf program might be the better program to do. However, I do not have that knowledge and evidence. I have to take risks, and based on the knowledge I do have, to take this risk of doing the full elf program and becoming this tiny little person, it's a reckless thing to do. And I do not want to be a reckless person. Even the half elf program is already a pretty big step, and it may make me shorter. I don't know by how much. You see the Transformers, when they're being born, they're really small. And the Son Goku, he also starts from a small size, and Luke Skywalker, he's really short. If you read about it, his real height is much shorter than what is seen in the movie. Although in the movie he is pretty short. Well, at least he's not tall, but in the story itself, in the books, he's shorter than he's in the movies. And the Luke Skywalker program is the half elf program, and Yoda is much shorter. And if I did the full elf program, the Yoda program, I have no idea what the consequences would be. And I cannot just take risks based on what date my program aligns with. Sure, it's pretty to start a program with which the date perfectly aligns, but to make those decisions, you see, I'm a logical person. I cannot make decisions based on what looks pretty, on some kind of faith by how the numbers align in a religiously beautiful way. I must have any form of data, at least in the form of stories. And like I'm saying, there is no story that starts with the elf program. They all start with the half elf program. And there might be a really good reason for this, because, well, there might be. I mean, it's less of a reckless thing to do. I don't know how much the full elf or even the half elf make you decrease in your physical size. And just now I fell asleep while thinking about this stuff, and I uh, I had this dream where I looked at myself in the mirror, and I looked like a, a really short and skinny, and also young and feminine boy. And if I did the full elf program, who knows if it would turn me into a gnome? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I cannot just. It's very difficult for me to take such huge risks based on faith and what faith of how the numbers look pretty. On that kind of faith versus at least some kind of data. If I had at least one single story where they start with the full elf program, that would be at least some basic thing to work with, but there is none. There is no such story. You see, there is the Frieren story, that elf girl, and she's like over 100 years old, and she's the height of a dwarf. I'm really not sure that that's what I have in mind for myself, to be at the height of a dwarf when I'm over 100 years old. You see, the big stories like Dragon Ball, Star Wars, Transformers, and they all start with the half-elf program, and I don't have to be perfectly aligned with the numbers. I think that so long as I do things step by step, it can be enough to ensure my success at this stuff. Yes, the elf program could be better, but I don't have the data. I would like to act based on data, like a scientist, like a logical person. Not like a man of religion, but like a man of logic. In the first place, all of the parameters in the training, their alignment with the numbers is pretty, but it feels also very logical, how all the pieces fall into place in a logical way. And my decisions, they need some form of logical basis, even if it based on bro science, like or what seems to be like bro science, but it's actually covered science, like stories. So I don't know, they want me to do the elf program. Give me 1, 2, maybe 3 stories that start with the elf program, and then I'll consider it. But there is no such story. And I would like to do things in the correct order, and I don't want to make reckless, fatal mistakes, like ending up with the height of Master Yoda. Like being at the height of a 4-year-old child, and being stuck like this. It's scary. It is fucking scary. Anyway, I've said everything I had to say on this subject, and if you have anything you think is valuable or you would like to comment, then feel free to do so.